Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're looking at a watch from Hamilton with the Hamilton Intra-Matic chronograph in blue. So in this video and on this channel, we cover watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as a full authorized dealer. So in this video, deep dive into this timepiece, final points of consideration at the end, but also throughout this video, if you have further questions, check out the link in the description to the product page where you can learn more, purchase the watch, and book a time with one of our dedicated watch specialists as well. But guys, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. It's certainly no secret that Hamilton has become one of the premier Swiss-made value brands under the ownership and guidance of the Swatch Group. And under this arrangement, Hamilton has access to a long lineup of excellent ETA movements, which make their way across the brand's various collections. And today we're looking at a model that's more of a newer creation in the last couple of years, making its way underneath the Hamilton Intra-Matic name with the Hamilton Intra-Matic Auto, a piece that offers some handsome looks and kind of walks on the line of looking at that heritage style piece with some dressy but also casual undertones. So let's take a closer look. Glancing over the Intra-Matic on the wrist, we have a reasonable set of dimensions with a diameter of 40 millimeters, a case thickness of 11 millimeters, and a lug to lug coming in at 46.3 millimeters. Overall, it's a slender, kind of dressier case profile that wears pretty true to the 40 millimeter measurement, if not a bit smaller, closer to that of a 39 millimeter. Flat geometric surfaces define the case along the sides, down through the short lugs, as well as the fixed bezel, all of which feature a high polished finish. An easy to engage push-pull crown is positioned at that traditional 3 o'clock position. It has a rather fine knurling for optimized grip and is signed on the top side with an embossed Hamilton H emblem. The automatic ETA movement inside can be hand wound in the first position, while the date and time are set at the 2 subsequent crown positions. A hacking second feature helps with precision setting of the time, and when the crown is back in the first position, the Intra-Matic is water resistant up to 50 meters. Installed between the 20 millimeter lugs is a supple chestnut brown strap with matching stitch that works its way around the entire topside surface. Both the top and undersides have a nice soft feel to them, and even though it features a decent amount of padding, especially along the top half of each side, flexibility on the strap is not hindered in a great way and can be worn comfortably right away without too much of a break-in period. The attached hardware is an 18 millimeter polished and signed pin buckle with bolstered and angular sides, complementing the case design as a whole. Even though the strap is quite nice, with 20 millimeter lugs, this particular Intra-Matic has the potential to be a strap monster and should really work well in a wide variety of colors and styles to go along with this blue color dial surface. Now moving over to that dial, we are first met with a convex sapphire crystal through which we can view the matte navy blue dial, an ecru colored outline area that slopes slightly downward. A black minute track is printed along that perimeter ring with clearly denoted 5-minute increments. Moving inward towards the center of the dial, we are met with the faceted and applied hour markers, all featuring a mirrored finish, providing the dial some visual depth. Positioned between these markers and the outboard minute track are square lume plots that match the color and intensity with luminous material in the polished sword style hands. And the handset is finished off with a thin white sweep second hand, complementing the white dial text and the white date wheel window at the 6 o'clock position. At 12, we have the Hamilton logo with reference to the automatic H10 movement within. Above the 6 o'clock date window is the word Intra-Matic, and below the date window, you'll find the Swiss-made designation as well. Overall, the dial is well laid out, has clear legibility in both normal lighting and in dark. While the lume isn't going to blow you away, it's adequate for its application here and should provide easy reading in low lit conditions. Just don't have the craziest of expectations there, as if this is going to be an ISO dive watch. The slight dial curve along the general design language gives the Intra-Matic some clear vintage inspiration. However, this model leans more into a modern execution. And when you're looking at this watch and really where it's pulling from, and if I had to just break it down to its simplest form in terms of design, it's essentially just the Intra-Matic chronograph, adapting it to a 3-hand variant. Turning the Hamilton over, we have a heavily decorated screw-down solid case back that protects the ETA-based Hamilton H10 movement within. This movement is based off the ETA C07 family, which beforehand is then going to be a modified ETA 2824, and Hamilton has extensively modified the base caliber to increase the power reserve to 80 hours by reducing that beat rate from the original 4 Hz down to a slower 3 Hz. In addition to adjusting the beat rate, Hamilton also has removed and replaced the traditional regulating organ with a free-sprung balance system, an upscale solution to improve timing and accuracy, specifically when it comes to impact resistance and shock, but this does potentially throw in some hurdles when it comes to regulating this watch for yourself because of the lack lack of traditional regulator pins. But out of the box, the H10 movements we've encountered in the past perform exceptionally well, and when testing this particular model at 5 different positions, it was more of the same, keeping time within single-digit daily tolerances. So now to unpack looking at this Hamilton American Classic Intra-Matic Auto 40mm with a blue dial. In regards to this watch and where it's positioned, now if you look at Hamilton as a whole as a company, they have some models that are just definitively maybe some of the best options regardless of brand for the price. I think the obvious choice is looking at some of the Hamilton khaki field models around that $500 price range. And then you can also look at some members of the Intra-Matic collection, primarily when it comes to the chronographs. And that is specifically where a lot of the inspiration for a piece like this is coming from and adapting that to a 3-hand model. But I think the obvious challenge with a watch like this is kind of figuring out where it sits within the collection. But much of what makes those conventional dress Intra-Matics work is just the kind of more dressy undertones and kind of fitting in that mold. And then you have the Intra-Matic chronographs, which are going to lean into that panda style or execution in a chronograph, which I think is still one of the best, if not the definitive best, Swiss chronograph that you can get for around $2,000. With this in mind, it's not going to sit neatly in a box like maybe some of the other collections from Hamilton. That said, it's still a very nice Swiss-made watch. It's going to have those heritage undertones, and if you're a big fan of the dial design of those Intra-Matic chronographs, this is going to be something that might interest you greatly. And if I had to best sum up who would maybe be looking in the direction of this watch, maybe somebody that's not really in love with the field watch formula, respects Hamilton as a manufacturer, their history and heritage, and wants something that could be a great casual everyday wearer that doesn't lean so far into that field watch direction. I think this is really where this watch shines. All right, guys, well, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That really does help out the channel. Really would appreciate that as well. But also, if you're in the market for this watch, it is available on TeddyBaldassarre.com. TeddyBaldassarre.com is a full authorized dealer of all the brands that we carry. Quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support. Also offer a full factory warranty for all the products that we offer to give you a lot of peace of mind. In addition, we also offer price matching. So if you see one of our watches for cheaper at another authorized dealer, just fill out the form and we'll get in touch with you. And finally, all this content that we create here helps fund our future productions here on this channel, as well as on our main channel, trying to foster up a new generation of watch enthusiasts in the process. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.